Howdy. All right. Half an hour late, but moving fast. Welcome. I'm back. I was on vacation, and prior to that, had a bout of not feeling wonderful. And so I had a much shorter time span on the games, and I'm gonna have a shorter time span on this game today because I am so horribly late getting it together. But you know, stuff. Let me see. I'm gonna look slightly semi-transparent today, perhaps more than slightly, as I'm just looking this over. And yeah, I need to fix that just a wee bit. And I'm just gonna be lazy about it, and it doesn't matter to me if I'm fading away, or so it appears. There, that's better. Good, yes. So as you can see, I'm not entirely here. I'm only semi here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go with that because I'm tired, and I would like to do some gaming today, and not spend an hour and a half messing with the settings in OBS. Let's continue, shall we? During a crisis, move party members to opposite sides of an enemy to inflict the flanked fettle on them. Great. Where are we? We're in a tomb. Okay. This is just one of those days, right? Okay. Are these little guys following us wherever we are? Or are they just going in one direction? Okay, they're just heading over that way. Alright. I was noticing, I don't know if you noticed this, but there's like little particles or something coming up out of there. And we were standing right where they were headed. Okay. Let me figure out what we're doing, as is my wont with these things. A lot of things. A lot of things I don't even know for sure if I'm up for them, but we'll see what's happening today. Yeah, I've been feeling weird today. I've been feeling very weird. All right. Still recovering from my trip away. She'll finally allow me to use the Merecaster and speak to Matsoff. She pointed out that changing the past means anything could change, so I should prepare myself and tell her when I'm ready. Hopefully this will all be over soon. It'll never be over. Ever. And that's the main quest, so I have a feeling that once I do that, we may have a change of scenery. Find the Endless Gate inside the necropolis. We did that, didn't we? No, we didn't. That's the one place we haven't gone yet, because there's a big fight scene coming, probably. Wormed our way deep into the labyrinth. New portal in the column leads to the Fathom and the Sorrow's Fragments. Use the Sorrow's Fragments and Fathom's Destroyer. Contain them if I hope to rid myself of the Sorrow's interference in my mind. These all look very exhausting. Now we have to talk to him, but we have to have him with us. Them with us. They specifying pronouns here. It, maybe, I don't know. Severed child. One, 2, 5, 4. That's gonna be the same as we're gonna. I have a feeling we're heading straight for the Children of the Endless Gate. I need to talk to someone like a doctor or something about the whole deal with the box of demons. Okay, we can figure that out soon, and we may have to just go back to Sega's Cliffs to do that. I don't know. All right. Clearly, I must prepare for battle. Let's do that. All right. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 5, 4. That's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. How are we doing? How are we prepared? As far as, you know, our kit goes. There's a lot going on in here. I could bond something to myself. Yeah. What happens when you use their Merecasters? Okay, so yeah, that's a good question. I don't know what I want anymore. Okay. Oh, we'll figure it out. What weapon am I currently using? It's an artifact weapon. That's probably why I've got it here. Energy weapon. Okay. I think we're just gonna, like we usually do, we're just gonna go barging in and figure it out on the way. Because of course we are. I'm just gonna see if I can make sure that if there's anything I want to hand to somebody before we do this, because I'm gonna go in there. Yeah. What other bonded items do we have here? We got that thing. That's really it. Okay. So +1 damage per effort applied, maximum +8 on unarmed attacks. Used in hand-to-hand combat. +4 damage. Yeah. -1 training level and endurance skill. And healing. What skills do you have, I wonder? Does he have skills? No, he has endurance training. Yeah, we're going to leave him for that. This fellow does not have endurance training. You also do not have endurance training. So what we could do, we could give it to her. Just more damage. And I don't believe she has the healing skill. Of course, that's probably not going to help her in healing. I think we're going to give it to her. We're going to give this little burrowing horror to her. And we'll kind of see how this goes. Yeah. Let's see how this goes. Alright. We're about to fight some things. Probably. Because we're going to go to the one place that I haven't gone yet. Alright, do I have my, yeah, that's would be good. If I have the, I've got to grab my notes. Do I have my notes? It's been a while. I mean, I won't need them to finish this, but, or this part of it, but they might say something else new that I might want to write down. And it would be nice if I had the same note card to help me out. I don't know where it is. Alright. I think we'll deal with that later then.
I don't like the idea that so many dead people are nearby.
Don't you? That's unfortunate. Because there are rather a lot. This is where they keep them. Alright. Yeah, I'm not seeing it currently, so I think we're just gonna keep going. Because me flipping through cards makes terrible television. Okay. Alright. We're gonna do the thing. Let's do the thing.
Yes.
Yes. Perhaps. Here we go. Endless Gate, Marsusa. For the entire ball of wax and the living room suite. The fourth hexagon illuminates a field of energy, forms around you, and you feel the same tight sucking sensation at your gut. Here we go, kids. Your dominant tides will not stop you from taking any paths or picking any options of conversation. They influence how others respond to you in subtle ways. Here we go. The gate, it calls. It's time.
Making a note.
You see the whites all around this man's eyes. His face is frozen in a rictus of frenzy. Can you feel it? The power of the endless gate, it calls to us. It is time. Insanity ends now! We're gonna go with where's Inifir. Already there, already begun. Our Lord and Master is at the center of it all. Before he can utter another word, the man's spine goes taut. His expression becomes that of a towel before being savagely wrung. A towel being savagely wrung out, but his voice stays drenched in childish glee. They call us now! Oh, dear Lord. So content warning for possible violence about to happen. A lot of blood and gore and all manner of things, just given the way this room looks. Join us. Ah, the Master's bacon for glory. The Master's bacon? Bacon. That's, okay. Right. Yeah. That's interesting. Let's see what happened in the journal. We got a little bit of an update. Endless horror. I found the Endless Gate's entrance in the necropolis. Several cultists were sucked into it, shrieking, "It's time." I don't know what that means, but I'm pretty sure the only way to close the gate is to follow them in there. Great. No, maybe we should go. Maybe we shouldn't worry about all this right now. Most of these pods can be opened on one side. Several contain humans, many of them Sega citizens by their clothing. Oh, great. Apparently I can interact with this pod.
Going.
The children of the Endless Gate seem to have paid special attention to this tomb. Their scroll covers it in bloody smears and gobbets. What little you can read seems to offer praise to the dead woman and to whatever it is the children worship. Beneath this desecration, however, is an old carved inscription. She stood watch between hope and horror and died beloved on her feet in service of we who suffer. It is signed Inifir. Let's look more closely at the children's writing. Incomprehensible scratches and scrawls, all of them, and you can't make sense of them, yet somehow they fill you with a vague and nameless horror. Amidst the bloody rants and paeans, weird Greek roots, can't tell, paeans, you find a symbol carved into the stone itself. You recognize it as the sigil of the Children of the Endless Gate, surrounded by scrawls to an unnameable and alien god. Touch it! No, wait. Let's examine the writing again, just in case there's something else to be. Amidst the bloody rants and pans of his sigil was cut into the rock. It must have been intended to the last for many generations. Try to read the name. You cannot read the name, for it is obscured by splatters of blood smeared by the venerating touch of countless passing cultists. Still, you're fairly certain this is the tomb of Marcissa, whose proximity to Inifir must be what inspired this display of, you hardly call it devotion, but it's certainly effusive. Okay, can we try again? Yeah, same deal. Sure, let's touch everything. As you reach out to touch the symbol, a spark flares from it and you feel your tattoo blazing in sympathy. The rock under the symbol evaporates, as if it were transmuting itself into another dimension, revealing a large niche.
I'll remember that.
Within is a thing of strange dimensions and impossible angles, spun from an unearthly metal that seems to flow as you examine it. Its branching limbs cross in a lattice that holds no clear pattern. Tidal energies seep from it, and you recognize the sigil of the changing god stamped on its base. What else it might be, this is a Merecaster. Oh my gosh. We got 3 of them now. But not one you can use, at least not now. Someone has twisted it out of alignment, and it would be impossible guesswork to return it to a proper state. Alright. Got another Merecaster. We're going to collect them all. The unearthly metal of this device appears to flow as you examine it, twisting itself at impossible angles. Its branching limbs cross in to weave a line of searching, no clear pattern. Seems to push against the palm of your hands as if willing you to use it. Maybe later. Okay. Yeah, sure, touch it again. The rock that covers the niche melts away, but there's nothing inside anymore. Okay, we're done. Well, I guess it's time to go in and do a lot of killing. Or something. I don't know. Endless gate entrance. Bonsai. Yeah. Here we go.
Go.
Cloying, invisible fingers tug at your skin. They're drawing you into the portal, eager for the life that flows through your body, eager to keep you there. You have a bad feeling that once you step through this gate, there will be no way out except to find the one who opened it. I gotta wonder. See, now I'm wondering if I'm supposed to do the Merecaster stuff first before I do this. I feel like I'm kind of supposed to. Dagnabbit. I have some messages I'm going to check real quick whilst this is going on. Let me look at this real quick. Excellent, excellent. Okay, just looking at all the things. What I need to deal with. Okay. Alright. So that's a thing we'll need to look at after a bit. Here we go. Okay. Decisions. I mean, which thing are we doing?
Maddie, about your skin.
Of course.
We're gonna go back to the... Is it the entrance? No. We don't need to go to the entrance. We actually were wanting to go to the thing. Probably be better to go to the thing than to go to the entrance. First cast off. That's where we wanted to go.
Let's go.
Hey, how's it going? Just passing through. I know. Well, I'm opting to try this bit first. It is kind of where it gets weird, right? Because once we do this... Is that it? Severed child. Wait, what? I found a Merecaster of all things inside Marcis's tomb. I don't know why it's there, but I have a feeling I know who it belongs to. The man in the memory, the Castoff behind all the horrors of the valley. And I mean, I can at least come here and ask them if they know things about it, so there's that as well.
All right.
Alright.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Okay. Now we gotta make some decisions here. Dagnabbit. Okay. Mm-hmm. We're not quite grasping at straws just yet, but we're getting closer to it. Let me go ahead and send this little message real quick.
All right.
Here, come back to bedevil me. Sure. Why are you bringing up old memories? What difference does it make now? He glances at Makina and shrugs. She betrayed me, and she has most of her kind, though in my case, she had the gall to accuse me of betrayal. He flaps hand at her. Oh, keep those blades in your sleeves. I put it behind me as best I can, as should you forget it.
Want to speak with you.
She sighs and squares herself, as if readying for a battle. I've had two people I almost respect advise me to forgive those who betrayed me. She jerks finger at you. This one and Adirius. I'm trying to take their advice. Forgive me! Matkina, you were the one who ruined our partnership. I sought to build... I have no idea what voices I did for these folks before, so we're just doing this now. I sought to build your reputation. I steered you toward choice assignments, yet I benefited from your work. But you benefited from mine, did you not? Is your name used to conjure fear? That was what you asked of me. That was what I provided, and you responded by attacking my people, my organization, and my reputation. Indeed, you were so successful I had to flee the city. You forgive me? How magnanimous! But Yolan said... Yolan? You mean the man who supplanted me? The one who assumed control of my organization for decades? He used you, Matkina. And I suppose I owe you an apology for letting you think you could trust him? But yours was the greater betrayal. He snorts. Oh, close your mouth. I expected it from you. If it means that much to you, yes, I forgive you. He turns to you. What do you think all of this is? What do you think of all this? Isn't Castoff drama wonderful? If you forgive her, why are you such an ass to her? So you two are friends now? None of these are good responses. I mean, he kind of just said why he was such an ass to her. Why should Matkina trust your word now? So you two are friends now. Sorry, you two. That's weird. It's gonna be one of these two. I guess we'll do this. You seem shocked. Trust? I didn't ask her to trust. I asked her to think. Did I benefit from a downfall? I did not. Am I a stupid man? Don't answer that, but I am not. I wouldn't betray an assassin of her skill. Not in such a clumsy way. It would be an insult to both of us. He inclines his head slightly to her. Let us begin anew. Bygones and all that. We will move on. She nods sharply. Agreed. Well, our reunion has been productive. He turns back to you. Have you any further questions for me, or will I find peace at last? No, I think we're good. For now. Don't need anything I wouldn't eat. All of a menu. Okay, Matt Kino wanted to talk. Don't think any new quest lines opened up as a result. Yeah. Alright.
You told me to forgive Melmoth, and I discovered that I had been in the wrong all this time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say. But I think I have a great deal to learn from you.
Oh dear. How are you holding up? Surprisingly optimistic, but don't tell anyone. It'd spoil the mystique. So, we're here in Milavest. Tell me about it. She looks around downcast. It's beautiful, isn't it? But now I can't wait to get out of here. Look at this. This isn't the world. It's a prison. And all of our brothers and sisters here, they're prisoners. They act like it, too. There's even a warden who won't let the prisoners play. Okay, let's go. Interesting. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. That's Adiris, with whom we should speak about getting that stuff done. Adranus and Rima, I think, were the people that were arguing. Castoff. Elkshai. Castoff sitting up there. Alright. These are mostly again things. Alright. So I think we're going to go ahead and talk to Adiris. I think we're going to try and do this.
You and me.
Yeah, there are a few things actually I want to try and do. Yes. Hello. Yes, action. Alright. I'm going to save again, because of course I am. Because of course I am. Okay. Actually, I had a Merecaster I wanted to show you. Don't know if these are things I should try using here or in front of you or whatever. However, see, we have two. This is the problem. All right, we have 2 points of no return potentially here. One is the portal, which is very obvious. The other is going into this Merecaster, which is less obvious, but it's like, you know, this is a thing you can't undo when you do it. I have to wonder if I should look at these other Merecasters. I don't even know which ones are the Merecasters. We'll have to see. Not sure if using it is a good idea, which is why I just saved the game, because we're going to try it. You withdraw the coiled Merecaster from your belongings and weigh it in your hands. It is lighter than it appears. Liquid within calms at your touch. The mirror contained within the device does not calm. It hisses and boils, filling your mind with small, clawed shadows. A headache builds behind your eyes, but despite that, even because of it, you feel compelled to sink into it, to let it wash over you. I have several mirrors I can enter now. Let's do it. This isn't even the one we're here to do. The sunrise gives the sea a blazing golden sheen, and all the city, from the far harbor shanties to the splendid square just below you, basks in its light. The breeze blows fresh and brisk off the water. The song of night birds gives way to the chatter of clerks and touts, and your black vein hands, twisted like talons, tremble on the windowsill. Behind you, men bicker about tests and shins, about a rot that has reached the heart and brain and cannot be cut out. You turn away from the window and face the men, just as the closest of them, a one-armed servant in sumptuous garb, cries that there must be more that can be done, whatever the cost. But the other, a chirurgeon, snaps back, I am no mountebank like Jalipa, flinging ciphers at the sick till there are no more shins to shake loose. It is not healing to stir false hope in those doomed to die. They break off their debate to look your way. You don't recognize them at all, but plainly they know you and expect you to speak. Yeah, we don't want to change anything necessarily, since I have no idea whose Merecaster this is, so I'm going to apologize for my confusion. As you stammer out your confusion, the servant's eyes widen with understanding. He steps closer to you, and in an almost tender gesture, he lifts a hand toward your face. His one hand, his one arm, his other side smoothly swaddled in silk. I am Cardogo, your grace. You know me. And without it quite being so, he is right. Even poisoned as your body is, it feels the flesh of friendship. And this is Aram of the island. He has been treating your condition. The chirurgeon gives a slight nod, adding, My services are at an end, your grace. The roots have spread too far, too deep. What the wind sowed must now be reaped. Well, we're in a position to ask questions. Conditions, roots the wind? The two men share a quick, obvious glance, and your frail body quivers at the gesture. Cardogo grows closer. The wind touched you, your grace. The iron wind! Oh, great. Yeah. As he says it, his fingers dance as if unbidden upon the flat expanse of his maimed side. The iron wind. What it touches, it changes, seldom for the better. Your changing was slow. All these years you fought it. The doctors fought it. We fought it together. The islander's voice has none of Cardogo's softness. And now you have lost. You are leaving this life at last. All that remains is to decide whether you will do so properly. What's wrong with your side? It's kind of obvious. The iron wind happened. That's kind of... We look at the subtext here. And there are preparations to be made. I want to keep fighting. Leave me! Don't want to change history, but I can't remember whose history it is. Don't even have no idea where I got these Merecasters that I'm looking into. I'm just diving right in and just seeing what happens. I want to keep fighting. Aram shakes his head. Death is life's one inevitability. The battle you would fight cannot be won. Blows aimed at death are always fall upon the living. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. Blows aimed at death always fall upon the living. Those who say otherwise are lying, and the world around you should be proof of that. He slices the air with his hand in a swift, hard gesture. Medicine is truth applied to suffering. That is why Jalipa is no doctor. Medicine is truth applied to suffering? Your servant takes a half step as if to place himself between you and the chirurgeon and says, Whatever you choose, your grace, I will be beside you. Tell me about Jalipa? You'll get no good from her, Aram spits, unless you long to be gulled. The chirurgeon smirks at Cardogo as he says the last bit. Your servant nods. She trades in false words, not cures. Oh, dear. You see... I gotta find out what this is, though. Aram gestures broadly at the ciphers, trophies, and treasures that adorn the walls. Your life was full, but the hourglass is empty. You must rest. Now you must rest for a while, then forever. The deep ache in your skull and spine, the ragged weakness of each breath, and all your body's other voices cry their confirmation of the doctor's words. Ah! You know, yeah. We saved the game, sure. Let's go this route. This will not kill me. I will not die. Yes, let's mess with history. Trembling, you swear you'll defeat the rot, perhaps with the help of this Jalippa alone if you must. As your rant rages on, your voice grows more ragged, and at last you stagger back and catch hold of your desk to keep from falling. The doctor shakes his head and leaves, and Cardogo helps you into a chair. You won't fight alone, Your Grace. He wipes sweat from your brow. For now, though, you must rest. I will have the kitchen prepare broth, and I will let your family know. He lingers a moment longer without saying why. When he goes, a tremendous weariness overtakes you. Beyond the window, the sun has risen, and the sea is restored to old gray waves crashing on a sullied shore. Yes, yes! History's a flat circle! The hours of rest have won you no strength, and the soup sits uneasily in your stomach. Cardogo dusts your face with rouge to hide its pallor, slides white gloves over your twisted hands, wraps you in a padded jacket that adds lost flesh and masks the bulbous growths. He tucks and folds and buttons, and at last passes you a looking glass. In your trembling grasp, it shows nothing more or less than rot and sickness. You look like a corpse prepared for funereal display. Cardogo has hidden nothing. He has merely framed your condition as a euphemism that others can bear. They're waiting, he says, and he guides your chair forward. Oh, dear. Lando? No, wait. Let's continue. Your eyes flick across the drawing room, alighting on the vast map covering the far wall, the shining oddment of crystal and azure steel whirling in a corner. The shelves of ancient tomes, the writhing fire caged in the hearth. Then there are the men and women, young and old, all gazing expectantly, scores of stares you cannot meet in a sea of unfamiliar faces. On some, fear and desperation are naked. Other guests have done better in their concealment. A neatly groomed man in a neatly fitted officer's uniform sobs messily. He is the exception. Cardogo puts his hand on your shoulder, and a hush falls. Your Grace, the family is gathered. To you alone, he says. They await your words. Try to ease their fears. Seek Cardogo's help. Send them away! Let's send them away now. We're going to try to ease their fears. They know you are dying. Your family may be strangers to you now, but anyone could see their fear, namely that they will fall with you, followers that they are. You must set them free. You speak of your weakness and their strength, of the darkness you face, and the bright days ahead for them. You say that a family is, by definition, more than one member. Too soon your well-worn words run out, and Cardogo ushers the crowd from the room. The officer, however, insists on staying, and your servant at last relents. Your Grace, your nephew, Salvar, begs a word. He withdraws a discreet distance. Salvar has everything you've lost. Strength, beauty, vigor, and yet his haunted eyes, condemned eyes, are all too familiar. He bows and, thinking his face hidden, wipes it quickly with a handkerchief. As he rises, he kisses your gloved hand. Your Grace. His voice, for all its glorious tenor, quivers as if he is far weaker than he looks. You have given me so much, and now as your end draws near, I hope at last to prove my worth. His harried eyes dart about as he gives his little speech. Is something troubling you? A false smile reveals brilliant teeth. No, not at all. I have discovered a wonderful opportunity. A mercantile venture in need of a leader, a man of precisely my skills, and a chance to purchase shares in the ongoing concern. Preferred stock. He stutters slightly over the foreign vocabulary of business. I can make good on what you've given me, prove that your faith in me was wisdom. The smile crumbles. I just need a stake to buy in. He means shins, of course. Tell me more about this venture. Salvar nods too fast too many times. It's not without danger, physical danger, I mean, which is why they need a man who can swing a sword. He's interrupted by a cough from Cardogo. The venture? Ah, yes, well, it involves certain, saleable commodities that are in great demand in the oasis of Holios. Strictly highest workmanship, of course, but sold here like, trinkets. So you see exactly the sort of thing a sharp trader corners in the market, as they say. It sounds like you are being tricked. Salvar blanches. Ridiculous. They could not be farther from the truth. This is honest and good. His words race blindly ahead. This is a lucrative enterprise. Your servant sighs audibly. The dull ache behind your eyes, the claws in your spine, your nephew's absurd deception, all of it drags you downward. Why are you doing this? Salvar takes a step back, his eyes watering. I want to prove that everything you did for me, the schooling, the sport, my commission, these clothes, prove that it wasn't a waste. All my life I've had to pretend I deserved your love, your gifts, always knowing I didn't, always hearing others laughing behind their hands. He takes a ragged breath. Now I can prove you were right. Prove I was worth it. Prove to myself. From the corner of your eye, you see Cardogo shaking his head. Your nephew holds your withered hand with his long, graceful fingers. Please, I need help. Just one last time. Apologetically, unthinkingly adds. You need me this evening. There is time. I mean, I kind of want to, let him do what he was going to do, but, I think I'll say I'll need to consider. Of course, he says, nodding. The fear seems to fade a bit from your nephew's face. I promise, I will make you proud. Cardogo leads him from the room. When your servant returns, he shakes his head. You have showered that boy in shins, your grace, and shared a greater wealth and wisdom, to no avail. A person can always be changed. Cardogo flinches at your words, and the scorn falls from his face. After a moment, humble silence, he eases your chair back toward your suite. I can't read. It has been a long day, your grace. You should rest. A soporific and anodyne mist brought by Cardogo dulls the daggers that stab your nerves, and soon sweet oblivion settles over you. Ah! You awaken in the dark night with the certainty that you are not alone. Your uneven heartbeat races, and your rot-riddled eyes strive to find an intruder. Who's there? You hiss. A shadow sits at the foot of your bed, illuminated by the false fire glow of a cipher around her wrist. As your eyes adjust, her face becomes faintly visible. You recognize her from the gathering. She was at the back of the drawing room, and she left before anyone else. Casca, she answers, identifying herself, though by now she knows you've seen her. Or have you forgotten me entirely? Lie, no, I remember you. Cry out for help. Why are you here? I've forgotten almost everything, it seems. You haven't forgotten to spoil Salvar, Casca scoffs. You haven't forgotten your three-legged lapdog. Oh, jeez. At the twist of a knob, the cipher on her wrist floods you with bright, blinding light. And you haven't forgotten to sleep in silk either, have you? Why are you so angry? Why are you here? Let's keep her talking. Why are you so angry? I'm not angry, she says in a low, dangerous voice. I'm hungry. And I want what you've been feeding my sweet, soft, rotten cousin all these years. Your shins. My shins will make you soft like Salvar, better to grow stronger by earning them yourself. Wow, yeah, I haven't heard that line from anyone before. You got nothing from me. Why should I give you my money? In the twilight, she gives us a short, flat reply. Because I've suffered. I mean, it's a good question. Because everyone's asking, really. Let's actually go ahead and just say they'll be provided for. Casca nods once without saying a word, then darkness darkens the cipher on her wrist. Without its light, the room becomes completely black, utterly silent and empty, but for the whisper of her departure and the ever-present pain within you. Weakness and throbbing pain are the morning's gifts, unblunted by the herbal broth Cardogo has brought. Death will not stop knocking. By the time the clocks cry out midday, a palsy has seized your left hand. Your servant gives you a relic to grip, some ancient creature locked in amber. It slips from your grasp and shatters on the floor. The beast flies away. Oh, nice. At that moment, a caller is announced. Cardogo leaves, then returns visibly dismayed. The mendicant, your grace. Without awaiting an invitation, your visitor enters, a tall man, stiff and slender as a poker, finely dressed and bangled with ciphers. He glows with a confidence, as he gives a half bow. Your grace. At a curt nod from the mendicant, Cardogo steps out. Your guest then sits beside you and takes your hand. I have heard, he says, softly, naturally, not from Cardogo, but your family cannot help but share their panic with the city. His eyes glisten with a fathomless compassion, or at least a fine simulacrum of it. The hour against which you prepared for so long has come round at last, and they who surely knew the day would come are as unready as house pets. They have leaned on you greatly, but then so have I, and so have our children. He gestures to the leather portmanteau he has set at his feet. I am here to bring your plans to completion. Prepared? Plans? Our children? The mendicant eyes you carefully, then gently nods. I know that a cloud has fallen on your mind. It would give me great joy to lift it. For many years your generosity has given new hope to the dispossessed and neglected children of this city. A long lifetime's worth of wealth has transformed what my hospice can provide. The lands alone, your old hunting preserves and the mouths they now feed, the wrecking field at Crefton and the honest labor of gleaning its Numenera, the campus of the hospice itself, and all the lost souls it houses. As you insisted, no one knows of these gifts, but us two and your solicitor, he smiles. And now I seek to drink the last dregs of your estate. Of course. Why do you need more? The mendicant shakes his head sadly. Our world knows no end of need, your grace. There are so many children who have been betrayed and cast aside. With a great weary sigh, he says, there is one in particular whom I wish to show you, if I may. He unhinges the portmanteau's clasp and begins to reach in. As if in response, the shaking in your hand grows stronger. Of course. It's not necessary. You may expect a bequest while I am gone. No, I'm not interested. Alright. Now see whatever this is. From his bag, the mendicant takes a glass tube filled with a swarm of ants. Next comes rich parchment, which he lays upon your desk. With a deft motion, he pulls the cap from the tube and pours the ants on the page. They skitter madly, but not aimlessly, oozing acids on the page until at last they've etched a flawless picture. You see a young girl affected with almost unspeakable corruption. Half her flesh a wilderness of misplaced parts and oozing sores. One of Cardogo's brood, the mendicant mutters. Most of them are killed at birth by the whores, if not by him. Unbidden, a strangled sound escapes you, and Cardogo bursts in. The mendicant slips out without another word. So I can say the mendicant told me about your children, I can say you're a monster, or I can hide the picture and not say anything. Oh, let's go and let's drive in the direction of drama. Cardogo's face turns red with rage, and then as he sees the formidiograph, oh my goodness, formidiograph, okay, because formidi from the ants, wow. The formidiograph of his daughter, Shame. I see, he whispers, turning away. Face hidden, voice low, he confesses, I was a man when Kaylee let me join you in the border march, and a monster when we wed. Her love never flinched. He begins to pace. Could mine, she wanted a child, but I dared not burden her with another such as me. As she steps forward, black motes swirl in the space between you. Jalippa swore there was still some good in me, untouched by the wind that would grow in my that could grow in my wife. He reaches out, but I had to know for her sake. Before you can condemn or absolve, the fit comes and all else goes. Huh. Yeah, finding out it's never a good idea to try to find out how much of a monster you are. I think it just doesn't seem to, yeah. It's like, let's see how far I can... No, that never... Because you always end up going there. That's the thing. You just become it by trying. Just like you can become better by trying, one hopes. We'll have to see. Anyway. Okay, enough philosophy for now. The darkness fades in part. The agony stays redoubled. Through a haze, you see your bedroom. And two men beside your bed. Cardogo is one. His hand is on your bony shoulder. His companion, proper in every punctilio, is another stranger. Your Grace, you barely hear Cardogo's voice. It is as if your ears are packed with wadding. I have brought your solicitor. The man sniffs. As you'll recall, Your Grace, you declined my offer to draft a will against this day. He speaks of mortgages and credit lines and accounts payable, wasting your last life on a lawyer's long-winded way of saying what little wealth you truly have left. Now you must tell me, how am I to dispose of the residuum? Here we go. So, Salvar is funded. Find Casca, let her buy a better life. Establish a trust for Cardogo's children, wherever they are. Bestow it among the mendicants' hospice, if you have done with the rest. Divide it evenly among my family. I'm not dead yet. Bring Jalippa to me. Have her do whatever she can to save me, whatever the price. Oh! I know, but I want to turn to the dark side. It's so appealing. Apparently they have cookies. So many choices. But I think we're aiming toward bringing Jalippa. I think that's what we're trying to do here. I mean, find Casca and Viola is kind of the thing we agreed to. But this is kind of the thing that we're aiming at. For all Aram's hard words, Jalippa is no mere mountebank, and she prolongs your sorry life for a span of ever darker days. She cannot turn back the growth inside you, which spreads into your joints, sprouts from your skin, turns your gums to blackened mush. At last your wealth is gone, and Jalippa goes with it. You lie alone in pain, in darkness, awaiting a death too long in coming. Then amid the agony there is the gleam of a knife held by a hand you can hardly see. Who it is you cannot tell. One who loves you still, despite it all. So there is an end to the pain, and the darkness goes, turned to golden waves lapping on the shore, and your long life is finally done.
I'm ready to learn something new.
I see. So...
Maddie, I was going to ask about your golden-hued skin. You look so... vibrant.
My skin... You're seeing me through your glow, Eratus.
Really? Why then with such a porcelain cast? You must be twice as beautiful as you appear.
Eratus. You know, never mind.
Weird. Alright. Are they actually starting to like each other? That'd be weird. It's very... Sounds as though a writer did that to them. Let me see. Am I in a place I can level up? I think I can level up. I'm not going to do that yet, though. Because I feel like I did the wrong thing there. That's the weird thing. I kind of... Yeah. There are some things. I kind of want to go through that again and see alternatives, and I realize that's going to be terribly boring to everyone. No, I will, I think what I'm going to actually do... Yeah. So I'm going to save the game here. I'm gonna click through them a little faster this time since we already read the things. So I'm not gonna reread them. But I kind of want to see what happens if we make a definitive decision. If anything... Actually, wait a minute. Let me just make sure. I think that's what gained me the experience, the XP. Didn't really affect anything else here. Okay, gotcha. You're gonna do something here. Gonna reload that one. It's very interesting. So what we're gonna do... That was this one, right? The circulating Merecaster. Liquid within tube lies utterly still no matter which way you tilt the contraption. Occasionally a bubble pops against the glass and something within the device shudders. We're going to do it. I'm going to click through a little faster. I might go down a slightly different trouser leg this time. We'll see. Okay. So, waking up dying. Who are you people? Yes. I'm Cardogo, you know me, and this is the same thing. Okay. You know, Your Grace, the wind has changed me too when I sought to shield you from its touch. I failed you then as the doctors have failed you now. You paid too high a price. Show me! Your servant flinches as if you'd raised a hand to strike him. Then, after a quick look to Islander? Islander, he nods. Button by button, he opens the shirt, slowly sloughing it, turning away like a courtesan, hiding the horror as long as he can, but it will not be concealed. A ruin of moist, mottled flesh, patched with curling hairs, spotted with eyes and pitted with burned-out sockets, speckled with half-formed teeth and oozing fistulae. Great, I'm so glad I read that. Almost defiantly, he lets you stare before slipping his shirt back on. You're not the only one the doctors have failed. Perhaps Cardogo Armchides. You have merely visited the wrong doctor. Not all ills are incurable, nor are all chirurgeons Jalippa. Tell me about Jalippa? Or ask the doctor to examine Cardogo. Hey. No, the doctor said earlier. I'm not here to treat your servant. If you wish to retain me to do so, you may call it my place of business. He looks at Cardogo. He knows where to find me. As for you, the treatment is done. Our arm gestures broadly at the ciphers, trophies, and treasures that adorn the walls. Your life was full, but they are. Glass is empty. You must rest for a while, etc. There are preparations to be made. Your surgeon bows, plainly pleased that you have heard his words. Takes to leave. Cardogo watches him go, then turns away. There's work to be done, Your Grace, but you must rest. I'll have the kitchen prepare your broth. I will let your family know. Alright, beyond the window the sun has risen, the sea has roared to its old grey waves, crashing on solid shore. Going slightly differently here. Okay. Yes, we've already read that. Family is gathered. They await your words. Seek Cardogo's help. You place a trembling hand on Cardogo's arm. He leans down and whispers bland words of comfort. At first you bristle at his coddling, but quickly you realize that perhaps he means for you to pass the phrases on to the crowd. In a quaking voice you tell them that they are not alone, that they are loved, that they are strong. Here your servant's prompting runs out, and at a loss for what more to say, you merely add that you are dying. When Cardogo sees that you have nothing left, he ushers your family from the room. The officer, however, insists on staying, and Cardogo at last relents. Your Grace, your nephew is up. Tell me about this. Commodities are in great demand. Sounds like you're being tricked. Why are you doing this? I think I'm going to continue with I'll need to consider. Person can always be changed. Continue. Forgot almost anything. Pay my last respects. Casca scoffs as she shines her cipher over your withered, trembling body. If I had any. What I want is what you've been giving me with your shins. Why should I give you my money? Because I've suffered. When I'm gone, you'll be provided for. I mean, it's clear. Alright, your race. Our children. Why do you need more? Of course. Mendicant told me about your children. And then we're here. Retain around the island to treat Cardogo. Now that's an option that wasn't there before. Establish a trust for Cardogo's children. A lot of different options here. I'm gonna go with find Casca and let her buy a better life with the money. You can barely whisper the words, but as the final darkness creeps across your vision, you see the solicitor nod. Your life's last short span stretches almost infinitely, and in it you see Casca, her hard features softened by comfort and cosmetic care, softened most of all by a smile with no edge. She is laughing, she is free. Then the image fades, and the darkness turns to golden waves lapping on the shore, and you are free as well. Your long day is finally done. Okay, well that was somewhat positive.
I'm ready to learn something new.
There are so many possible ways that could have come out, and the thing is, you're changing history when you do that, potentially, so I have no idea if that was the right thing to do or not. Because there were several different options for people to help. Man. I have no idea. Do I still have that Merecaster? I do. I could use it again. I'm going to save the game here. I'm going to leave it at that for now, and then I'm going to figure out more about it later. Is that something? Now the question is, do I have time to do another Merecast? It's an excellent question. It's not a lot of time. We've got 20 minutes. Let me try and do one more. In the meantime, let me also double check to make sure there's nothing crazy going on that I need to know about. Okay. Nothing too crazy. Alright. Okay. No, sorry. I'm going to look at this one. Let's take a look at someone else's life. It is crazy, isn't it? I have ideas. Just doing a little bit of Tides of Numenera. Two warm device hums and throbs in your hand, and though you hear no music, you realize your lips are mouthing the words to a song in a language you don't speak. You feel the mirror this device contains blooming within you, like a flowering, looping vine. Let's look at it. The metallic petals of the device flutter in the slightest breeze. Light sparkles off the intricate circuitry within them. Let's go inside! Oh, that doesn't sound pleasant at all. Red! It's the color of the sky as the sun sets behind the stacked hovels. It's the color of the dust that coats the massive obelisk rising beyond the hovels, holding back the endless waters of the oasis. It's the color of her skin. The woman's name is Sukya. Her skin turns red when she's afraid, a mutation. Red is the color of her blood running from the gash in her forehead. Red is your rage as you look at the two men who tower over her, laughing raucously, taking turns to vent their spite. You can smell it, the blood, and their loathing. It stinks worse than Sukya's fear. Please, Sukya begs you, please stop them, help me. Well, you're already feeling rage, so you're supposed to probably help. What's going on here? Human rights, Muty, one of them jeers. There ain't enough water to go around, but this troll spore thinks she deserves more than the rest of us. Oh, great. Sukia starts to protest that it wasn't her, but the human kicks her in the face. You all do it, he spits in her face. Don't think we ain't seen every one of you taking more than your daily cup. That should be enough for any filthy mutant, but no, now you got the Burgrave thinking about changing the damn laws. He kicks her again to make his point. The other one steps forward and looks down at you, blocking the sun. I bet you deserve as much as a human too, don't you? Think you're better than the rest of us? Why, yes, as a matter of fact. Because you're such stunning examples of humanity. Yes, I must give in to my hate now. You restore human rights through assault and murder? Doesn't seem like you thought this through. I like that answer so much. You will stand by while you come in here and beat up one of our own. I actually like this answer too much to not do it. The humans laugh at your pathetic attempt. They turn on you, overwhelming you from both sides. You can't protect every place at once. They pound your face, your stomach, your kidneys. You taste blood and smell your own fear. They knock you down, and all you see is the red sky behind their sneering faces. They stop at last. One of them spits on your face. Damn mutants, he says. You don't belong here. We'll be back later with the others. And we'll teach you a real lesson. They strut back down the road into town. After they leave, a chirurgeon runs forward to attend Sukia's wounds. A small boy covered in blood blisters comes out from his hiding place to watch. An enormous mutant with an elongated neck towers over both of them. Which I presume is that fella. A woman with blue skin runs out from her house. Ash! She shouts at the boy. You get home this instant! The boy tears himself away from Sukia and the chirurgeon. Suddenly he stops and looks up to you. They said they were coming back? What are we going to do? His mother Lally puts a hand on the boy's shoulder and also looks at you. What are we going to do? You feel the heat of several dozen eyes asking the same thing, looking to you for guidance. Well, talk to the mother and her boy, see what they think. Talk to Sukia, see how she is. Talk to the chirurgeon. Talk to the large mutant watching the chirurgeon's ministrations. Prepare the mutants to fight. When the thugs come back, you will defeat them. Encourage them. Help them focus on what they have. On the joy of the present. Tell them there is nothing they can do but hope the humans don't return. Ah, yes. So, we have the Magneto answer. We have the Professor X answer. Let's find out how Sukia's doing. Sukia looks up. Her skin is multi-hued now and reeks of overcooked vegetables. Pain. Thanks for your help, she manages. She looks pretty bad. Apparently the thugs had been working on her long before you drew their attention. You know what I miss? She's obviously half dazed as she speaks. Your music. You used to write the most moving songs. Her head lolls to one side. I miss your songs. Oh, really? It's an interesting idea. Talk to the chirurgeon. All three of Misha's hands are busy. Oh yes, I got 3 hands. Fussing over Sukia with several different pastes, injectors, and spray canisters. Can't take much more of this, she mutters. I mean, all of us. Seems like someone comes in here causing trouble every week now. As if life in the Morphling Grotto weren't hard enough. She slams 3 ciphers down at once and glowers at you. What we should do is talk to Burgrave. He might actually be able to do something. She returns to Sukia with a groan. Not that he would. Not that any of us could even get to him without trouble, but it might be the only chance we have. That's an idea. Let's talk to the mother and her boy. Sure, why not? We should fight, the boy Ash grins with sharp yellow teeth. There are lots of us. We can take them. Hush, child. His mother taps him lightly on the back of his head. A blood blister pops, covering her hand with a sticky, smelly goo. Damn. Anyway, don't listen to him. We're not fighters. You know that. The woman, Lally, looks over to where the chirurgeon is ministering to Sukia. You shouldn't ask me what I think. I think we should just keep our heads down. That won't stop this, will it? I wonder if anything can. Talk to the large mutant watching the chirurgeon's ministrations. This mutant stands 2 meters tall without his long neck. His hands look strong enough to rip bricks in half. It's a wonder he didn't do anything to help Sukia when he clearly could have. His voice, when it comes, is strange and sonorous, emerging from the multiple holes pierced through his neck. Zell will not feast until blood has come to reign. He says, and you realize he's talking about himself, not that he makes any sense. He looks directly at you. Zell desires blood to reign. Oh, really? I mean, so we could prepare the mutants to fight, or we could leave the grotto to get help from the Burgrave. I don't really want to do the other things. I do want to see what happens if we try to get help from Burgrave. You follow the path the thugs took to leave the grotto. It leads you away from the towering obelisk down a winding road shadowed by tall sandstone buildings on either side. The closer you get to the main town, the more humans there are. Every one of them stares at you. Some turn away quickly, feigning nonchalance. Others curl their lips in disgust. A few tell you to go back to where you came from, the waste preferably. One warns you you'll die out here, but the way he says it seems like he hopes he's the one who kills you. In the town square, you are shoved and jostled on all sides. What few kind faces there are steer clear of you entirely. Finally, you reach the Burgrave's tower. The tower marks the center of the town square. It is clearly not of the Ninth World. It is made of some older material, tipping so much it's a wonder it hasn't collapsed yet. The Burgrave is easy to find. He stands in front of the tower, a stout man in a colorful robe, more colorful than most Jerboan citizens. We may be in Jerboa. His robe is adorned with various pearlescent beads and discs that mark his station. He is speaking with a richly dressed man and woman. The Burgrave does not seem to have noticed you, but the couple he is speaking to are clearly disgusted by your arrival. Place your tentacled hand on the Burgrave's shoulder to get his attention. Apologize to the richly dressed couple for disturbing them. Wait patiently for the Burgrave to finish speaking with the couple. I'm going to try waiting. It takes a long time for them to finish their business. The couple seems grateful for the Burgrave's apparent ignorance of your presence. Finally, they leave. The Burgrave turns to you, apparently surprised to find you standing there. What brings a mutant out here? You state your case, telling him of the attack on Sukia and the thugs' warning that they would return. He waits patiently for you to finish the whole tale. Your injuries tell me even more than your words, he says, looking at where the two thugs wounded you. I'm surprised you waited so long to tell me. Very well. I will have the matter investigated. I serve the grotto too, no? You thank him and return home. We'll see if anything actually happens. There are very few people on the streets outside the grotto at this time of night. Suddenly, a few figures emerge from the shadows. Two of them are the humans from before. Well now, one says, leering. What are you doing out? A gleam in his hands tells you they are carrying more than fists this time. More figures emerge, surrounding you. The scrape of metal sends a shiver up your spine. Attack them! Take down as many as you can. Turn around now, and I won't have to hurt you. I've just talked to the Burgrave. If you kill me, he'll know what you're doing and take action. Make a break for the grotto. I mean, if this were a film, you would see this person make a break for the grotto and get chased down. Turn around now, and I won't have to hurt you, is the thought. I mean, the only thing I think they're going to listen to is the warning about the Burgrave. Except, if you give them the warning about the Burgrave, that may enrage them and they will attack. However, it is the thing that makes the most sense. I think I am going to try saying this. We'll see what happens. They bark a cruel laugh. You think you can use the same trick twice, meaty? The Burgrave's in his tower, and you're alone in a dark alley. Ain't nobody gonna care about you. Oh, well. Without warning, you are struck from behind. Red stars swirl across your vision, but you aren't given the pleasure of unconsciousness. More blows rain down. Pain lances through your ribs, across your back, and between your legs. A knife slices fire across your neck, and then it's over. Their footsteps tap lightly on the street. You take comfort in the fact that, having expended their anger on you, the thugs are walking away from the grotto. Also would be a weird narrative payoff. Yeah.
I'm ready to learn something new.
That's a thought. Yeah, that's the thing, is also if you made a break for the grotto, then they might have chased you. If you'd attacked them, then they could have used that against you, you see. That's the problem. This may be a no-win situation, to tell the truth. Which might be the point. However, that said, I'm wondering if there's a way to make it a little bit longer in that one. So I'm going to do the same thing I just did, because I cannot stop myself. And no one out there can stop me. So we're going to keep going. I just want to see, and again, I'm just going to click through some of these things quickly. Yeah, right, exactly. It's like, do you pick the choice that makes the most sense, or do you pick the one that is dramatically correct? And it's weird, right? Because it's like I'm sitting here, I know that I'm playing a game, but what I'm having to do is sit here trying to second guess to a certain extent what the writers of the game thought. And it's like, okay, well, did they think of this? Were they thinking in this way when they did this? But this game is very, very layered, so it has a lot of things you can do. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go back in. I'm not going to read the things aloud this time. I'm just going to go, unless again, as like the last time, unless we stumble across something that's different. And yeah. Okay, that's done. We're going to talk to everybody, because that's what we did last time. That opens up the options to see the Burgrave. And Zell wants blood to rain. You can try to get help from the Burgrave. I wonder about actually doing this. Burgrave gives you a sudden attention. Oh! I was so engrossed in what I was doing. He looks you up and down, though not in the disgusted way his fellows do. What brings a mutant out here? You state your case, telling him of the attack on Sukia and all that came after, including the warning that they would return. A couple leaves. But he listens, waiting patiently for you to finish the whole tale. Must be of great importance to you. For you to come here and even interrupt three of Jerbo's most important officials. Very well. I will have it investigated. After all, the grotto is part of the city, too. Alright. This time, we're going to try making a break for it. You pretend to attack them, then juke the other way and run past. You tear down the alley, their footsteps in hot pursuit. Misha sees you first. She shouts to the others, and they prepare for a fight. She gives you a makeshift club, and you turn to face your adversaries. But this is worse than before. It's not just the two thugs beating up Sukia, but an entire gang of humans come to take their anger out on the mutants of the grotto once and for all. The fighting begins faster than you expect. The air is filled with shouts of rage and pain. With a tremendous whack, you knock down the man in front of you, but looking around, you see everyone is in danger. Everyone! So, now it's a question of which one do you fight to protect? The enormous mutant Zell wants blood to rain. I almost kind of want to pick that one just for the sake of seeing what happens. Naturally try to help Sukia for narrative reasons. We'll see where that goes. Though she is heavily wounded, Sukia fights hard. She knocks down two men twice her size before you lose sight of her behind three more. You rush to her aid, whacking a shiv out of a man's hand just before he impales Sukia. You take down two others, and Sukia is saved. Others not so lucky. Misha is taking care of herself, and Ash is still fighting hard, but not his mother. She lies dead in front of her home, like many other mutants around the grotto. This is terrible. But we got a new picture, so clearly this was the right thing to do. Was it? Was it really? As many mutants have died, the grotto has killed more humans. They're pressed back out of the grotto, and the noise soon draws the attention of more Jerboans. Some of these join the fight against the mutants, but many more stand alongside mutants, defending them. Something slams into your back then. Before you can turn to face your attacker, another blow smashes your head into the dirt. Life seeps from your skull. Some distance away, you see Zell lying dead on the ground as well, dozens torn apart beside him. The world fades to blackness. You hear the fighting spread, a full riot. All of Jerboa has joined one side or the other. Never again will the grotto be ignored. Oh my god.
I'm ready to learn something new.
Okay. I have to wonder. But, you know, which of these options was the correct one? I'm just gonna save here. Because there will be no way to know. Aside from, you know, doing the, going and looking it up on a wiki. Which I might do, we'll see. After some mirrors, and I think what's going to happen is that since we're at about 4, I'm going to go ahead and close it here, but we're going to do the rest of these next time. As like I said, it was going to be a little shorter today. Okay. Where am I? I'm over here. Yes. Okay. So we will transition back here. Hi. So that's going to be it for today. And as you can see, I'm still see-through terribly because I have not I just did not have the time to worry about it, and I decided let's just go ahead and be see-through today. Why not? I am amongst the stars. So what else is happening? So tomorrow I am going to be over. Tomorrow morning I'll be over here once again doing more We Happy Few. I think there's a bit I have to actually go through. There was an error last time in the programming. I figured out what the problem was, and that sort of brought us. Why is someone trying to call me on Skype while I'm streaming? Damn you! Silence! It's robocalls. They do a lot of this. Anyway, hi. Yes. Just gonna uninstall Skype. I think that may be the only answer. So yes. We Happy Few. There was a problem last time, which I will more fully explain tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to get back to that point with the thing fixed. And so hopefully we'll be able to go forward with that. Tomorrow it is looking like we are not actually going to have the Cold Ruins of Last Life. We're going to have a couple of folks out. And we are barreling, I think, toward the end of it. We're going to see what we can do. So that'll be coming up over the next few weeks. Tomorrow night, I am actually going to be over on Anaris' channel playing a variant on Fall of Magic, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. So check out that if you so desire. Sunday morning, I will come back playing more through the campaign from Age of Mythology. Get to dive back into that and see where that goes. I believe we were trying to lay siege to the city of Troy. That was kind of where we were last, and I think I'm supposed to go and rescue Ajax. I think that's the next thing. So we're going to try to do that. Then Sunday during the day, we have a one-shot, early evening, we're going to have a one-shot of a tabletop RPG called Hell for Leather. That is an RPG, it's a story game, it's GM-less. Everyone is, they're telling the story of vengeance as a group of bikers betrayed one of their number who comes back from the dead to destroy them. So that will be, I think, very interesting. I think that'll be fun. Let's see, Monday, I start running inspectors over on Katieface, on the channel Katieface, Katie's channel, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to that. Also, it is the lazy GM's dream because there's very little I have to do to make it work. It's a very cool game. So we're going to be playing that on Monday over on that channel. Let's see, and Wednesday, back on this channel, Wednesday evening, we have the second episode of our campaign of Tremulous, which is a sort of Cthulhuid horror powered by the apocalypse. We have a lot of threads we can chase down for this next time, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to start planning for that shortly. So that'll be fun. And then Friday, 1 week from today, we'll be back here. Friday afternoon. Hopefully I'll be able to get back to it on time, and we will run through more of this. More Torment Tides of Numenera. I will see if, in the meantime, if I have made the correct choices via the Merecasters. And if not, it may not matter. We're going to see what happens as we enter probably a couple more Merecasters, including the one for the main plot. And then see about the Endless Gate and sort of figure out what order we want to do that in, and hopefully get a bit further. So I am looking forward to that as well. In the meantime, folks, please take care. Thank you very much for watching. I shall see you all of a sudden.